Who the hell does Boris Johnson think he is? Cashing in on his taxpayer-funded stint at number 10, this ex-Prime Minister is jetting around the world, commanding six-figure fees, sniping about the current government, and in doing so, helping the cervix-free leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer, into number 10. He's swanning around the place with his famous blonde mop, trying to show the public what they're missing, like a shiny speedboat on bullseye that you could have won. Well, none of what I've heard from this guy lately is bullseye. Absolutely not. It's the other bull. And as he continues to defend this disastrous and, in my view, failed experiment of lockdowns, it's easy to forget it all happened on his watch. It's his fault. Now, I will give Boris due credit that he did not want these measures, and the leaked WhatsApp messages with Matt Hancock prove that his lockdown skeptic instincts were real. He did not want to lock down. But he did it anyway. It was all, oh, woe is me, alas. I've got to lock you in your homes, alas. I've got to stop you meeting your family, alas. I've got to destroy the economy and close once viable businesses and destroy children's lives, alas, alas, alas. Well, back to me, Faye, come on, crack on. A fat lot of good his remorse did us. An arsonist that burns down your house but didn't want to is no comfort as you watch the dying embers of your home. Meanwhile, we have written evidence from these WhatsApp messages that the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, was profoundly against the lockdowns. Of course, he was Chancellor and could see the colossal economic damage happening in slow motion. Perhaps, unlike Boris, Rishi was a proper Conservative. The WhatsApp messages show that Sunak battled with prize numpty Matt Hancock to reopen the economy. Hancock mocked Sunak, saying that Sunak was helping the spread of the virus by resisting these ruinous measures. Well, old Sunak's been proved right. The Mail on Sunday newspaper reported in January of last year that it was Rishi Sunak, along with Lord Frost and my good friend Jacob Rees-Mogg, who stopped Boris cancelling Christmas with another Yuletide lockdown. That's right. Old Rishi Sunak saved Christmas. That was the 30th of January 2022 when that story came out. And on this programme, at that moment, I called for Sunak to become Prime Minister. And now he's in Downing Street. Aided and abetted by Starmer, Boris Johnson, alongside Matt Hancock, owns all of our current economic and societal damage. Boris decided to mask kids at school because he didn't want to fight with Nicola Sturgeon. Well, I want to fight with him now, as his negativity and egomania sees him pursue a childish vendetta against Rishi Sunak, blaming the current PM for his exit from office. Sorry, Boris, you are responsible for your own downfall, as you limped from one self-inflicted crisis to another whilst in office. And predictably this week, Boris has poured a bucket of cold sick over Sunak's Brexit breakthrough, because it's in his political interest to keep Brexit as an open wound within the Tory party. Sunak's deal isn't perfect, but it allows us to put a full stop to the issues in Northern Ireland and allows us to pursue Brexit with enthusiasm and zeal. It allows us to move on. Arch-Brexiteer Steve Baker has given it the seal of approval, which is a clue that Sunak may still get this agreement across the line with his own backbenchers and possibly, dare to dream, even the DUP. Boris won't want this because bad news for number 10 is his currency. But as Sunak improves in the job, making Brexit work and hopefully stopping the boats, Johnson's political bank balance shrinks by the day. Let's look at his record in office. What did Boris do about the Northern Ireland Protocol that he negotiated? What did Boris do about the boats? He didn't stop them. What did Boris do about the woke takeover of our institutions? What did Boris do about out-of-control public spending and the ever-growing eco-agenda? Don't forget, Boris drank not just red wine at number 10, but the net zero Kool-Aid as well. Now, Boris has his strengths, and in keeping Jeremy Corbyn out of number 10 with that amazing election victory in 2019, and by getting Brexit done in the first place, he will remain a hero. Boris will occupy the history books and he deserves our thanks. But ultimately, this spineless narcissist who has an intermittent relationship with the truth is so shallow and opportunist, he even wrote 2 articles about Brexit before Brexit happened. One in support and one against. For Boris, Brexit did not come from principle, as it did for the likes of Rees-Mogg and Steve Baker. It was political expediency. He's no team player, and I'm not even sure he's really a Tory. Boris only votes for Boris. And no one will thank him if his pathological political ambitions see him continue to be a thorn in the side of our current government. Why? Because his disloyal and self-serving actions are likely to achieve just one thing. What will they achieve? 5 years of a hellish Labour government. Bog off, BoJo. You've had your time in the sun.